Here we are on the home page of Notion, and to get started we're going to create a new page by going up to the top left-hand corner and clicking on this pen. You can give it a title like Meal Plan. I'm going to call it Master Meal List. Before we start creating our database, I'll just show you right on the top right-hand corner there's 3 dots, and you can change the font if you like, small or large text, and full width. If you have a large database with a lot of columns, then the full width will make it easier to look at. But at the moment, I'm just going to keep it in the center. You can also customize it by adding an icon if you like. I'm going to add a cooking icon. You can search. And you can change the color if you like. And you can also add a cover. And I'm going to change the picture from something from Unsplash. This pretty one here. Once you've customized your page to how you like it, the next step is to set up the database. To do that, you do a / to bring up the commands, and you start typing table. Now there's 2 tables. There's the basic table, and that is just a grid for putting in data. So what you want is the database table view, because we're going to be creating a database. So click on that. I'm just going to leave it unlinked. You can name your database, and you have the option of hiding that title. And if you want to bring it back, you just click on table, show database title, but I am going to hide it for the demonstration. Okay, so the next step is to create our database columns, and these are called properties. So if we click these 3 little dots again, you've got properties up in the drop-down menu, and at the moment we've got 2. We've got name, and that is the default property, but you can change that. We'll change it to meals. You can call it recipes, and that will change in the table. And the second property is tags. We're going to keep that property. We're going to call it main ingredient, if I can spell. And you can add a bunch of options. You can do it now, or you can do it as you're filling out the table, but I'll just throw in a few now. So I add things like chicken, pork, beef, vegetarian. So if you're looking for just chicken recipes, you can filter it. So we've got 2 properties here, and we can start filling out our database. So chicken and cashew stir fry. And we can click on the main ingredient and select chicken, or you can start typing in chicken and that will come down. As a start, this is all the properties that you need in your master meal list. You don't want to overcomplicate it, because the more stuff that you have to enter, the more tedious the whole job becomes, and then you won't use it. If you click on the plus sign to add a new column, Notion will give you some suggested ideas. So up here they've got meal type, a link to the recipe, so you can add a link to a recipe on a web page and it can go directly to that recipe. Whether it's a favourite, which I like to use, last time you cooked it. I'm going to add preparation time, and this is just shown as a number. You just click out of that, and you can type in 25 minutes. And I'll show you when we start filtering how you can use this information. So I'm just going to fill out a few more so that we've got some recipes to work with. Once you have your database set up, this is where it starts to get powerful, is using filters so that you can filter your views to make it easier to pick recipes when you're creating a meal plan. So to use a filter, it's this 3 lines, and we click on that, and you want to filter at this point, main ingredient, and then just the vegetarian. And then only the vegetarian meals show. So if you're looking for some vegetarian ideas for Meatless Monday, you can pull up that filter and you've got all your vegetarian meals on your list ready to your meal plan. You can also add a second filter, and I've made them preparation time the same, but let's change it. Say that one's 25. So you can add a second filter, and we go preparation time, and we want to look at for ones that are under 30 minutes. So you can go less than 30, enter, and then you're filtered for vegetarian meals that are under 30 minutes. So if you have a database of 40 or 50 recipes, then using the filters can make meal planning really easy. You can take 5 minutes or less to create a meal plan for a week or a fortnight. One other thing I want to show you, and that's creating different views of the table with the filters already in place. We'll start by renaming this one, and we'll call it All Meals. And to create a new view of the table, just click the plus. You can make it a list or a board, but I'm going to make another table view, and we'll call it Vegetarian. So we can add a filter, main ingredient, vegetarian. Let's hide that. So that table view for vegetarian meals only shows vegetarian, and instead of having to apply the filter every time to the first view, you can just click that table view for all vegetarians. So that saves a little bit more time. You might add, if we go back to all meals and you add another property, let's call it meal type, and we can call it maybe slow cooked, oven, stove top, stir fry, stew, just for examples. That's stir fry, that's a stir fry, that's a stew, we'll call it stew. That's oven. And so you could add another view, table, we call it stir fry, and then we add a filter, meal type, stir fries. And if Wednesday is stir fry night, then you've got all of your stir fries that you enjoy cooking in a single view that you can just go, yep, I'll pick that one and put it on your meal plan. Because Notion you can also use on your phone or tablet as well as your PC, and you pick chicken and cashew stir fry, and you've got, let's add it here, a link to the recipe, www.etc. You can click on that link and it will take you directly to the recipe. One other thing to note, which I should have probably said earlier, is that each of these database entries opens into a card. So when you click open, it's a note. So you could write the recipe in here as a note. Ingredients, method. And so when you've got Notion on your phone, you can open up Notion, find your chicken and cashew stir fry, open the note from the database, and you've got the ingredients and methods all there. The downside of using Notion like that is that you've got to type or copy and paste all that information into each card. And if you've got 40 or 50 recipes, that ends up being a lot of work. You can add photos. So if you've taken a photo or a screenshot of a recipe, you can add that too. And as I said before, you can make this full page. Now that we've got a few things in our database, I'll show you how that looks. We'll go full width, and it just moves it over. So if you've got a lot of columns, you can see them all. I've set this one up just to show you, but I'll show you my meal plan that I've got, which is a work in progress. So I've got the course in case I want to look up a breakfast or lunch recipe. Chicken, beef, if I'm trying to mix up the meal plan and I want one chicken recipe, one beef recipe, 2 vegetarian recipes and a fish wrap recipe, it's easy to click on one of the table views and filter that out. Some that I've added that I haven't tried, mince, because, it's the cheaper meat. So yeah, that's what I've got in mind. I hope this helps, and if you're new to Notion, I hope this is a good starter.